You, Adam, you've got a new game you want to try out today?
Guys, I've been trying to think of something to do live that would be fun, and I've come up with a game I want to play with Randy because I just got to see how Randy's going to react. There's some other stories we didn't fit into the news side of things, and I figured I'd throw a few at Randy and see if he would be impressed or not impressed. Feel free to play along in the chat, everybody. If you're
And
watching
I don't know what
live,
you'll be asking me.
this is this is why, because I love putting you on the spot. It's one of my favorite pastimes. So our first edition of impressed or not impressed, and let's just start with the obvious one, the thing that everybody has been talking about over the weekend, Dad, and that would be good old Shedeur Sanders. Got to see some preseason action over the weekend. Shedeur Sanders, he went 14 of 23 for 138 yards, and he threw for 2 touchdowns. He had 4 rushes for 19 yards in his preseason debut against the Carolina Panthers. Dad, are you impressed or not impressed with Shedeur Sanders' first start in the NFL?
Well, I will say that he obviously looked better than our backup Hendon Hooker looked. So
I'll give you
got to
that.
be
I will
got to
give you
be a
that.
little impressed with that. But it's preseason, for gosh sake. Everybody looks like world beaters. Everybody looks like champions. I think he's maybe a little bit better than people are talking about, but I'm not impressed with a preseason game.
Ooh, okay, all right. I am also going not impressed. I mean, if you followed me on X, you saw I had a whole thing. Look, again, like you said, it's preseason. Pre stands for premature. I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying he can't be a good quarterback. But I am tired of people coming out and out of the woodwork and be like, hang his jersey up, everybody. Hang the jersey in the rafters now. He has played a handful of snaps in a preseason game against Scrubs, and he looks like the greatest quarterback. But guys, he's number 4 on the depth chart now. He played because of injury. I don't want to hear the argument of, well, the team wanted to throw him out there to, teach him a lesson and blah, all that narrative bull crap. Throw it out the window. If that's your argument, it's a trash argument and it's not real. What team in their right mind wanting to find a good quarterback? And let's face it, the Cleveland Browns have sucked at finding a quarterback. The one they did, what they do, they shipped him out of town, and now he's playing in Tampa Bay, and he's looking pretty darn good, by the way. Yeah. The other one, a sexual predator they gave a huge contract to. What's he doing? He's injured, sitting on a bench somewhere. Yep, Cleveland making all the correct decisions there. Look, I want Shedeur to be as good as he can be. That's great for us to talk about. I just think he needs to get the ego in check, and I just think, a little humility will go a long way with this kid. Maybe he'll be something special, but until then, I can't buy it, especially in a preseason game. I'm waiting for him to play in a game that matters, because as of right now, Joe Flacco's still the starter, and Shedeur's a 4th-string quarterback on the depth chart. We'll leave it at that. All right, Dad. Speaking of preseason and stuff that maybe shouldn't matter, but maybe it should matter in our hearts, you might have seen the highlight. A record-breaking field goal was kicked in the NFL preseason as Cam Little hit a 40-yard field goal for the Jacksonville Jaguars in a preseason game. Yes, it's preseason, and it doesn't count, so it's not really a record. But what do you think? Are you impressed or not impressed?
I actually am impressed. I mean, regardless of preseason or not, this is an impressive accomplishment. And we got our kicker, Jake Bates, in Detroit from the Michigan Panthers of the UFL when he kicked a 64-yarder. He actually had to do it twice because they stopped the play before, as he was kicking, they called timeout. He made it then. He made it a second time, and he's been fantastic ever since. Is this guy always going to be this good? I don't know, but yeah, I'm impressed with a 70-yard field goal.
Yeah, it does think that it's not a record. I mean, it is preseason after all. But what a cool opportunity for this guy to show he's got that leg. So that'll probably open up some doors for him, even if he doesn't make the Jags roster. I don't know what their kicking depth chart is like, but I am thoroughly impressed with this one. So kudos to him. Another kicking story out of the preseason. Did you see this one? Bills backup running back Ray Davis filled in for their injured kicker, and he successfully kicked a point after attempt during their preseason game against the Giants. Dad, impressed or not impressed with a backup running back coming in and kicking a PAT for his team?
I would say I'm impressed that he can do that. We had Ndamukong Suh try and do that once when Jason Hansen was got injured on a kick return, and
Right.
Ndamukong Suh came in because was it you and I? I was sitting in the end zone when that happened.
I
I don't
think,
remember if you
yeah, we
were.
were at that. It was the Lions versus Jets. I think we were
Okay.
there.
Yeah, we were in the end zone, so he was kicking right to us, and he just missed it. I guess he had practiced that in college or whatever. I'm not sure what the deal was, but yeah, that's the only time he ever kicked an extra point and didn't make it. So yeah, it's still impressive. I mean, it's not like it used to be. I mean, it used to be it was like a 17-yard field goal for an extra point because it was on the 2-yard line or 3-yard line. Now it's a 35-yard kick. So yeah, that's impressive, I think.
Okay. The next one I got for you, impressed or not impressed with the Munich Ravens jerseys over the weekend. They rocked these, they call them their homecoming uniforms. They got like a checkered pattern on them. I thought these looked very cool. I was very impressed with this look that they wore over the weekend. What do you think, Dad? This is your first time seeing them?
This is my first time seeing these, and they wear some crazy uniforms in Europe for their soccer teams, and so I'm sure this is an homage to some soccer team somewhere, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not impressed for a football team.
Not impressed, Randy. Oh,
No,
that one hurts. That one stings. I think these were some cool looking uniforms. I thought it was cool. Yeah, they got it looks very reminiscent of, I don't know if that's the Munich team, if they have a professional football team, soccer team over there, I
right?
assume. I think that's cool. I think more teams should do that if they haven't already. I like the look. I am impressed. All right.
You'd
I did
never
have
see
another
my
one.
You'd never see my Nordic Storm wearing something ugly like that.
Hey, you never know. Maybe you just haven't been paying attention. But
Eh.
all right, the last one I got here because I can't find my other graphic. We could talk about it after this next one. But did you see this? Saskatchewan Rough Rider quarterback. Was that? I'm blanking on his name all of a sudden.
Trevor Harris.
Trevor Harris and his kids were on a local broadcast of the weather, and they got to do a little segment of the weather there. And I'm gonna throw the video on screen for those of you who haven't seen it. It seemed like a lot of fun. Him and the kids, they did the weather. They're going through all the different towns and up there in Canada, and then they talk about the game coming up this weekend where they're going to crush the Ticats. I just thought this is a fun thing. And so I got to ask you, Dad, impressed or not impressed with Trevor Harris's weatherman skills?
That is so cool. You, I don't know if you'd see Josh Allen doing that on a local
I mean,
Buffalo
never say
station,
never.
but no, they do things differently up in Canada, and that's why we like the CFL. That's why we like the players and everything about what's going on up in Canada. That's pretty cool. I'm impressed.
Yeah, impressed indeed. And the last one I had was about the Tom Brady statue. That was a story that you
Oh,
originally had in there that he got a statue. I was going to put in there if you were impressed or not impressed with it. Clearly, I couldn't get my graphic up in time. But what do you think about
well,
that real quick before we move on?
you had to figure they were going to put up a statue of him. I mean, so many Super Bowl championships and so many years with that team. Of course, he's going to get a statue. It's like a foregone conclusion that they were going to do that. So whether I'm
Right.
impressed or not doesn't matter. It's you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. All right. I'm done. That was our first shot at impressed or not impressed. Let us know what you think in the comments if you want us to do something like that again, or if you got suggestions for next week if we play again. So thank you for humoring me, and we will send it back over to Randy, who's going to want to wrap up the show because I see we've run really long today.
Yeah, really. Yeah, let us know if you're impressed or not impressed with Adam's game.
Oh man, I guess I walked into that one. I walked into that one.